PCD, basically. Hey guys, so today I actually have a video for you about my experience, my tour experience at the Happy Mistakes Unplugged tour, which actually happened a few days ago, starting from Tuesday the 30th up until Friday the 3rd, yeah. So I'm actually going to start with like the overall experience, like how I got there, what time I got there, any VIP information, meet and greet information. So I went to 3 out of 4 shows. I went to the New Jersey one, the Wilmington, Delaware one, and the Philly one. At the New Jersey show, I believe meet and greet was supposed to start at like 6:30-ish because they started letting us in at like 6. And how this worked was that at first, they started bringing us in like row by row, but that ended up not working. So they actually just got everybody in, they let everybody in line, and we kind of just went up into the booth. So I was in line with 2 other of my friends and my mom, and it was funny. It was really great. Like, at first, like, you see their feet under the tent, which was kind of interesting, because everybody was going crazy that they were seeing their feet. Anyway, oh, and there actually was no sound check for that day because they were running a little late, and the actual concert didn't start until like 8 maybe, which was really late. And they had 3 openers. Yeah, they started with Christina Lachega, then they did Janet Devlin, which she was in all of the shows, and then 6 Stories Told. Those were the openers. So now to the meet and greet. So my meet and greet went a little something like this. I was like behind 3 other people in the line before I got in, and Dustin started peeking out, and he started like looking all over, to see how many people are left, and he just kept on looking at like me. But I mean, I assumed he was looking at the whole line, so yeah. So it was my turn to go. I gave my phone to the security guy because they didn't have a professional photographer like the rest of the tour. You just had your own device, your camera, your phone, whatever it was that you wanted to give to them. So you would give it to the security guy or whoever was taking the pictures at the time. And yeah, so I walked up to Kendall, gave him a hug, said hi, walked up to Dustin, gave him a hug and said hi, and then I immediately told Kendall, I know this is going to be incredibly weird, but can you give me a piggyback ride in the picture? And I thought he was going to say no, and I was kind of scared that he was going to say no, but he actually said, well, you know what, the line is smaller now, and sure, I mean, okay. So I got on his back, basically simple like that, and we took the picture like that, and it ended up being really cute, and you guys really liked it, so thank you. And then right after that, they signed my, ooh, okay, I have it right here. So Dustin ended up signing this picture of us from Poughkeepsie, and then I brought Kendall a picture of the tweet that he tweeted me. I think you guys all know what I'm talking about, the don't act like you're impressed. And hey, this is the first time I got his full signature, so I mean, that's cool, right? So after that, my mom was actually with me because I won meet and greet passes, so I took her picture and we just did a cute little hugging picture, and then when we were done with that, I just hugged Kendall, hugged Dustin, and I left. That was my meet and greet. Now on to that concert. So I can't talk. Of course I can't talk. So right after the meet and greet, I went down and I sat down with my mom, and we actually missed Christina, and I believe we missed Janet as well, which was kind of sad because, well, I kind of wanted to see them. But We did see Six Stories Told, and I saw them in Poughkeepsie actually, so I already knew them and I knew a few of the songs. And it was very energetic, it was very fun, they got a lot of the crowd going, and I really enjoyed it. So, we were actually standing next to the stage for Six Stories Told, but of course they told us to go sit down, so we all sat down, and during the Heffron Drive concert, we just kind of stood up in our seats in our little rows, and it was a little difficult to move around, but you know, oh well, that's how it was at the state fair, which was totally okay. I loved the concert, of course. I mean, it was 9 months after seeing them in Poughkeepsie, so I really enjoyed it. After the show, I went to the other side, on the left side of the stage, which I thought, you know, they were going to come out there because that was the tent, but they didn't, so they came out on the right side, and I went over there, and my mom was like waiting for me, so I just took a quick selfie with Kendall, but of course right before my selfie, my phone died, so Courtney, which you guys definitely know, she lended me her phone and I took a selfie with him and it was funny, and I actually experienced the video that Kendall got for Tyra, which that was so cute. Yeah, and Dustin didn't come out until later, so I missed him. But yeah, that was that. Now, the second show was in Wilmington, Delaware, and that was July 2nd, because I couldn't go to the Webster Hall show, which is sad. But yeah, it started, I believe the VIP was supposed to be let in at 6:15, 6:30, I don't remember, but I got there at around 5:30 maybe, and my two friends, Megan and Kara, they brought me into the line, which made me very happy, and I'm very grateful that they did that. It took me about 2 hours to get there because I'm from New Jersey, but it was fine. It ended up being pretty cool. I wasn't late, which made me happy. For sound check, they sang Budapest, and they actually answered 2 or 3 questions, which they didn't do at the state fair because they didn't let them do a sound check or questions. But I recorded Budapest, so I also have that on this channel, so if you want to go watch that, that'll be down there. And it's great. I've had that song stuck in my head since Thursday, I'm not gonna lie. And they sounded amazing doing it too, so I was very happy I got to experience that. Now, on to the meet and greet. Again, it was the part where we were like walking up to the meet and greet was a little unorganized because it wasn't like, oh, front row, go get your meet and greet, second row, you know. It was just in a cafe, so it was crowded, people just ran up. I ended up being towards the front of the line anyway, so it was okay. We went up the stairs. We had to go up 2 flights of stairs because we went up to the balcony of the theater that was also at World Cafe Live. And oh, the theater was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I really liked it, and the lighting was cool too. So, you know, it's our turn to go, blah, blah, blah. We're walking through the door. They're like, okay, next person. So I walk up to Rick, and he's like, okay, wait here. So he's talking to me. Rick is the, you know, the tour manager. He was very sweet, by the way. And he tells me that my face looked familiar. And I thought, oh, I mean, okay. I mean, nobody ever tells me that, but that's cool. So he asked me if I went to, like, the other 2 shows, and I was like, oh, no, I went to the state fair. So he said, you know, he remembered me from that. And then he asked me where I'm from. He's like, New York? I'm like, no, New Jersey. And then I told him this place that I'm in from New Jersey. And he's like, oh, I was around that area like last week. And I thought that was pretty cool. So, I mean, I guess we're friends now. But yeah, no, he's very chill, very cool, very sweet. So I enjoyed talking to him. And then, you know, it was my turn. So I walk up to Dustin. I go in for the hug, step on his feet, being the person that I am, but that's okay. I apologized. And he's like, yo, psh, that's okay, that's okay. And I was a little embarrassed, you know. So I go into Kendall and I'm like, hi, and he's hi. So we had a nice hug, and I show Kendall the picture. I mean, you guys saw the pose, but yeah, I showed him the pose, and he's like, oh, that's cute. And then I told Dustin to, I don't know, choose a hole, right, and peek through it. So that's what he did. And when we were going in for the pose, I, like, you know, he's like, put my hands around my shoulders, and I'm like, okay, alright, so I did. And then, like, our heads were together, but then we pulled it apart. He's like, started, like, kind of yelling at me, but it was funny. He's like, aren't our heads together in the picture? Come on, bring them in. I was like, okay, alright, so we did. And we're, like, looking at it, and Nikki asked me if flash or no flash, and I didn't answer. So like we turned around, and she goes, flash or no flash. I was like, whatever, because you know I'm like staring at him. So whatever, just whatever you want. And we're taking the picture, and he's making funny faces. He's like rolling his eyes and like smiling. I don't know. I couldn't take it. It was adorable. I was happy that I got to do that pose. Anyway, right after that, you know, I gave them another hug. I showed them what did I get them to sign? Oh, I asked them to sign my shoulder, but they're like, no, I'll sign your wristband. It'll last longer. So they signed my green wristband, and they had colorful Sharpies this time, so it was kind of cool. So that was that, and right after that, I told them the moment I was waiting for. I've literally said this. I've met you pretty much a few times now, so I decided you should probably know my name. It's Gabby. And they all go, okay, alright, Gabby. And they're like, how do you spell it? G-A-B-B-Y? I'm like, no, G-A-B-I. And, I mean, everybody knows about this now, but, and then, you know, Kendall, which I didn't see coming at all, he goes, oh, right, like, you're like WoahGabi, right? I'm like, yeah, I didn't know you knew. He's like, I see you, I see you. And then he's like, bye, gave me a cute hug, and so did Dustin. I was really happy and incredibly surprised that they knew it. But, I mean, that was the best overall meet and greet I've ever had with them. I'm not even kidding. I'm really kind of disappointed that I didn't record it, like the audio, but I mean, oh well. So, another funny part, being the person that I am, they're like, oh yeah, go around the tables and go out the door. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I go around the tables, open the door. It wasn't the door that I came in through, so I was a little weirded out, you know. It was dark and pitch black, and I'm like, closed the door, walked away. Dustin goes, wrong one. He points me to the other one, and of course I was like, yeah, right, that's right. So I walked out the wrong door. I mean, cool, embarrassing myself yet again, and Dustin correcting me yet again, you know. So that was the meet and greet. Now on to the concert. The meet and greet went into Janet's performance again, but I got to see her that time. So, funny story, again, I had a sweatshirt, and they brought all of our things upstairs. But when they asked me if I had anything, I was like, yeah, I had a sweatshirt. My sweatshirt wasn't upstairs. No, of course it wasn't, with my charger and my ticket and stuff. No, it wasn't there. So I go downstairs and I'm like, are you sure? Maybe like it was left on the ground. They're like, no, we scooped the place out a few times. So I thought that was whoop-de-doo-dandy, you know. And I asked them to go search for it again, and they did, and they said it wasn't there. So about 45 minutes later, before Janet's performance, one of the VIP guys comes in with my sweatshirt, and I wanted to give him a hug so bad, because that sweatshirt was important, but I didn't, but I thanked him, and finally we got it. Also, the people's reservations that I was with got screwed up, but we ended up sitting, you know, sharing seats and stuff, which still turned out being absolutely great, and I was very thankful that I got to spend some time with them. This was also definitely one of my favorite concerts because, I mean, Kendall was right in my vision. It was great. I mean, the whole concert, of course, it was high energy, it was funny, it was different than the State Fair because we weren't close enough and we couldn't, like, you know, rock out more than usual. And at this one we could, although we were still in our seats. It was very energetic, and all the people there were so sweet, and so you could tell that everybody was excited to be there and they loved them. You could feel it in the energy of the room, and that made me very happy. So throughout the concert, you know, we all danced around and everybody was having a great time like they should be, and they always do. And then, you know, introductions were funny. They were really funny. And I don't know. It was funny, and is that the only word I know? Okay. It was entertaining. There we go. And then, you know, it comes to the last song of the concert, which is Everything Has Changed. And Kendall looks straight at me in one of the parts, and I'm smiling. Like, I'm singing along and I'm smiling, and he does the same exact smile back, and I was dead right there. And then Jenna, thankfully, got everything as changed on video, which made me the happiest person in the world, and that's on Vine too. So, yeah, lots of PCD from that one. Now on to my final third show, which was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philly is usually a really great concert and a high energy performance, and I definitely felt that. So I got there a little later than I intended on, like 25 minutes later, which was, I mean, a little They were supposed to let us in at 6:15, I believe, but we ended up getting pushed in at 6:30. So of course the meet and greets towards the end were a little rushed because they were pressed for time. So we go in for, you know, sound check and all, and we're filing in. And we go to sound check, and of course they were a little pressed for time again, so they did Budapest, and they didn't answer or, you know, ask any questions. So, on to the meet and greet. But not for a few of us. So I was with a group of people that had a plan, you know. A few people would go down and try to get first, and then they'd come back and save the front row seats, you know, and then we'd go down. So I was like, you know what, you guys brought me in this last day, you know, today, so I'm going to do you guys a favor. I'm going to stay back, and I'm going to save these seats with them, you know, Michelle. And I did. So, me being the person that I am, of course, I lied across the ground, just casually, you know, there's pictures of that, lied across the ground on the dirty floor, who knows what's been there, and sat there for a good 20 minutes until Jenna came up. Then we went to the VIP line, and we were last, unfortunately, but you know, that's okay. And we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. It's like 45 minutes to an hour, we're still waiting. So we finally get to the end of the stairs. There were a lot of them, and you know, they let us in. They're like, okay, last people. So, alright, cool. We go in, and it was dead silent. There was no music playing like there usually is. It was quiet and awkward, and nobody was talking. So, again, me being the person that I am, I said something. I'm like, okay guys, so, like, who's having a great time? Or, you know, how long did you guys come here for, whatever, or something like that. And me and Michelle start laughing. And there's an echo in that small little theater. So, of course, I was surprised that I didn't get kicked out because I laughed for like 5 or 10 minutes. But, you know, that's okay, because they probably know about that. So, like, I'm going up, we're still waiting. It took quite a while because people before us were taking a little longer. And I go in for the picture, and I'm like, hey! And I hug Kendall, and then I hug Dustin, and I'm like, alright, trivia, because I wanted to see if they knew this. Alright, what's my name? And they're like, both of them at the same time, they're like, Gabby. So proud of themselves. And I go, how do you spell it? They're like, G-A-B-I. I was happy. I gave them a nice thumbs up. And, by the way, I'm sorry, they're, you know, lawn mowing. It's really annoying. So I'm just gonna wait for, like, a minute. So, yeah, I gave them a thumbs up, you know, positive reinforcement. And I don't know which one, either Kendall or Dustin said, so, what do we get? And I asked them, what do you mean? And they said, well, I mean, it's not a very great competition if there's no prize. And, I mean, truth be told, I knew they were going to remember my name, but I wasn't sure if they were going to remember my spelling. So, I didn't bring anything from them. Sorry. I mean, I'll bring, promise, I cross my heart and hope to die that if, like, you know, if I don't bring something for you next time. And I apologize, but they were like, it's okay. So, now for the picture. I mean, I had a feeling that I wouldn't be able to get the picture done because of the time. But, so I go in and I'm like, so actually, is there any way we could do, like, a, you know, a kiss on the cheek picture? I just went for it, you know, I didn't know what was going to happen. And Dustin goes, I did quite the, like, you know, amount of kiss on the cheek pictures today. And I'm like, you know what, it's fine. And Kendall's like, it's okay, you know. And then we just did like a cute little picture, and Dustin ended up going like something like holding down or something and leaning in, and Kendall put his arm around me and squished his face together, which was still cute. But you know, I was a little sad that, you know, I was towards the end and didn't really, you know, like get to do the picture I wanted. But it's okay. I mean, I'm cool. Oh, listen, as long as people who were there, like, for the first time, or it was their first Heffron Drive concert and meeting them, got what they wanted, I was happy. I mean, I already saw them a few times before, so if I didn't get what I wanted, at least other people did, so I was okay with that. And I'm, like, waiting for Michelle and for another person so we could go upstairs, so we were also missing Janet's performance again, which was sad, but she is an amazing performer, so if you ever get the chance to see her, I definitely suggest that you do. So I'm waiting and waiting, and I'm like, what's taking so long? So I go inside, and Michelle's waiting for another person as well. So I'm like, okay. But Rick and them others, they're like, you have to leave. And I was like, here, that's okay. All right, so we're going in the elevator. And they're like, okay, 4th floor. Cool. So we're going in, and we're waiting. And then I click something, and the alarm in the elevator, like, starts going off. I thought I was gonna die, so I like, and the door started closing, so I'm like, nope, nope, so I pressed my back against the elevator door, like you're supposed to usually, and I'm like, pressing it, still making that noise. We thought we were gonna die in that elevator, so we all ran out and just started walking up the stairs, which was a much better solution to the problem. So, I actually got 2 things signed during this meet and greet because I totally forgot to tell you about them. But anyway, I got this lovely screenshot of Dustin signed, and a little story during this one. Dustin saw it and he asked me, is that a screenshot? And I go, yeah, of your Snapchat. Twitter, you know, wanted me kind of to do it. And they're like, wow, okay. And Kendall says, from Snapchat, right? And I said, yeah, of course. And he looks at Dustin and says, dude, you really need to stop looking so ugly in your Snapchats, you know? And Dustin goes, I know, man, I know. So actually, I'm not sure, I told a few of you guys about this, but I might be giving this away, so just, like, feel free to look at my Twitter sometime. I'll let you guys know if I am. And then the second picture was just the piggyback picture, and Kendall and Dustin both signed it, and yeah. Now, on to the concert. So, again, like we said, we had the front row seats saved by me and Michelle. So, we go up there, and we're trying to shove our way through the crowd. They're like, the general admission's like, no, you guys can't come here, what are you doing? And I'm like, move it or lose it. So, we're squishing through, and I get to my spot, and I'm like, I'm hoping the people will move because, I mean, I was saving that spot. Not GA. But for the rest of the concert, I ended up not getting my spot, which was, I mean, I was still, like, close to the stage and I was close to them, but it wasn't the spot that I had hoped for. Oh well. But it's okay, I still got to see them, and they saw me, and we took some videos. You guys will see in the next part. There's like videos of the crowd and us dancing, and it was a good time, but it was incredibly crowded and sweaty. For like the first song, I sat on the floor. On the floor. Yeah, and listened to the song. Not my greatest idea, but I did it. And then I got up, you know. It was really high energy. You could barely move, and it was, oh god. I mean, that's great, you know. But, like, sometimes when Kendall and Dustin and the other band members were getting off the stage, the people on the other side of the stage were almost, like, attacking them. And it's a small concert. Why would you do that? You know, they have places to be. Anyway, no judgment, whatever. So, yeah, the concert was great. I had a great time. So now I'm going to talk about the cover that they did, the special surprise. So it's Cowboy Take Me Away by the Dixie Chicks, except Kendall called it Cowgirl Take Me Away because he's talking about a girl, you know? And they brought up a really cool person, Sarah Larson. Dustin said the story about how last year they came to a music store and she was there and she knew all about these instruments, and she's a violinist actually, so they called her up and asked her if she wanted to play, and it sounded, the violin, I mean, I play the violin, so I know how it feels, you know, how heart-wrenching the sound of it is, but the violin added so much emotion and rawness to the song, you know, it definitely pulled at my heartstrings, and everything has changed. She played the violin in there too, so again, definitely made me cry a little. Whew. And yeah, that was the final and third show, the whole concert. So after the show, people, like usual, were waiting for Kendall and Dustin to come out. Unfortunately, again, we know a little bit. Kendall didn't come out, but Dustin did. Again, nothing wrong with that. So Dustin came out, and nobody knew that he came out, so I was like, I'm gonna go talk to him. So like, I went up to him, I got Megan to take a picture of us and some candids, which are pretty funny. And we got it, and I'm like, I'm gonna miss you. And he's like, you're gonna miss me? I'm here all the time. And I'm like, psh, that's okay. I mean, I'm still gonna miss you. And yeah, it was cute. And then I walked up to Andy, aka Thor, you know, and what am I doing? Anyway, I asked him to take a picture, and he's like, yeah, of course. And you know, I said, I took a picture, he's cool, he's really chill, and he's like, yeah, and I was like, thank you, he's like, of course, yeah. So that was that, and I'm walking out, and I just yell, I go, bye, Dustin, he's like, bye, and that was it. That was the end of my experience of Happy Mistakes Unplugged tour. Kind of sad, you know, but I'm so happy that it all happened. You know, I wasn't actually supposed to go to either the State Fair or Delaware. I was only supposed to go to Philly originally, but I won tickets, meet and greet tickets for State Fair actually, so I went to that, and then my mom was so impressed and so happy that she went to Heffron Drive that she actually was the one that came up with the idea of going to Delaware, which was a shock to me, but I was very happy, of course. And I'm very glad that I went to Delaware because it ended up being the best show for me, in my opinion. And overall, I really enjoyed everything. It was such an incredible tour, and I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that I got to either meet for the first time or reunite with. You guys really were the ones that made my Happy Mistakes tour, you know, the Unplugged tour, a great experience, and one that I'm never going to forget. I mean, I'm just gonna, you know, shout a few names out. Megan, Kara, Michelle, Jenna, Lissa, Kristen, Liam, Rachel, who else was there? Nikki, both Nikkis, and then Stacy. I'm just, and so many more of you. I'm super happy that you were there, and I miss you guys already, really, and it wouldn't have been such a great experience without you, like I said. But I still am going to keep in touch with you, and I'm on Twitter, and of course now I have Uvu, and on Instagram, so yeah, thank you guys. Not only that, but thank you to Kendall and Dustin, because without you I wouldn't have been able to either meet or reunite with these people. Heffron Drive is what brought me these people to me, and that I have so many friends on the internet that have my back and that I can talk with, and I'm just super grateful. I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for you just in general. I mean, I don't know if you'll be watching this, but I'm pretty sure I've said a lot of things. Either I've written to you or I've said it personally to you about how I feel, how you've made me feel, how happy I am that I got to meet you and talk to you, and that your hugs are amazing and magical. That sounds super creepy, but they are. And you guys are just so sweet. And believe me when I say this, my parents love you, and they love your music, and they argue over which songs, they love the most, which is kind of funny. But I can't wait. I'm looking forward to the next time I get to listen to you guys and to see what happens to you in the future and what music you put out. And we're waiting for Feel So Good. Hint, hint. I know you told us about that because I was there. But I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens. And hopefully, not even hopefully, of course, I'll always be there to support you. Well, without further ado, here is my whole entire experience and 3 days during the Happy Mistakes Unplugged tour.
Everything has changed since I met you. My heart was broken, hope was overdue. Running empty, running out of time. I thought I lost my mind, but everything has changed since I met you. Nothing is the same since I met you. The hardest times are easy to get through. When shadows of the past disturb my night, you make them run and hide, 'cause nothing is the same since I met you. Here and now, just hear me out. Through fear and doubt, I'll never let you down. I'll never let you down. Everything has changed since I kissed you. I never thought love could be this true. And when I thought that feeling couldn't last, you went and kissed me back, 'cause everything has changed since I kissed you. Here and now, just hear me out. Through fear and doubt, I'll never let you down. Here and now, just hear me out. Me out. Through fear and doubt, I'll never let you down. I'll never let you down. Everything has changed since I met you. And I hope that I have changed your whole world too. Here and now, just hear me out. Through fear and doubt, I'll never let you down. I'll never let you. Here and now, just hear me out. Through fear and doubt, I'll never let you down. I'll never let you down. Everything has changed since I met you. And I hope that I have changed your whole world too.